Hello, everyone. This is Grand Madam. How has your weekend been? Well, Lauren and I have been displaced for a moment. We had to leave for house renovations and repairs to take place. So we're out here uh, hanging in a ritzy hotel. I'm not complaining. It's been fun. I want to go home, though. Um, but in the meantime, I have been watching a lot of YouTube and I've been noticing, can't miss what's going on in LA. And it's really, really scaring the hell out of me. But one thing I have seen is that these protests against ICE and how they are arresting people and handling them in Paramount, Compton, and other parts of Los Angeles, it's interesting how they're being handled. But so far, I haven't heard of any fatalities on either side. Trump has gone and called in, he has federalized the National Guard. That's interesting. Just took it right out of Newsom's hands, the governor of California. So we'll see where that goes. Right now, I just want to see uh, what is the outcome of these protests in LA. Will anything change? What is the outcome between Newsom and Trump regarding the National Guard? Of course, this was federalizing the National Guard is not in Trump's hands at all, and it was not done legally, which is not big deal. So let's just take a look at what is the outcome of the ICE protests in Los Angeles, Paramount. What is the outcome? What comes of this? What comes of this? I hope you have a quiet and peaceful Sunday. There's another protest. This is LGBT in DuPont Circle. That was yesterday, Saturday, June 6th, 7th. I'm sorry, June 7th. That ended up with a double stabbing and a shooting. I didn't know anything about that until this morning. Okay, one protest at a time. This is going to be for Los Angeles. Overall energy is, oh, look, the world. It seems to be all encompassing, and the world is watching. And it seems it very well may be the end of the cycle. Let's just see how this plays out. We'll keep going. Something, Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles talks about assets, new money, and new lifestyle. So we will see. And look, Six of Wands. It's victory. For whom, though? For whom? So far we have the world, which talks about the ending of a cycle or the beginning of a new cycle. On top of that, we have the Ace of Pentacles, which talks about a new way of doing things, new money, new lifestyle. And crossing that is Six of Wands, a victory. Let's keep going. Here we go again. Here's another ace. This is the Ace of Cups. This talks about success. It's falling in the past. Let's see. And here we have, looky here, looky here. The delusion of the moon, the shadows of the moon. Future card, High Priestess. Intuition is needed here. This is unexpected. Very unexpected here. Let me move this. So, this looks like one of those readings that won't make any sense until I put all the cards down. This is going to be the community. This is Ten of Pentacles, legacy. Yeah, they're in an 80% dominant Hispanic community when they went in there running roughshod at Home Depot, snatching folks up. Nine of Wands. This is the card of recovery. Recovery after battle. And here we have Seven of Pentacles, assessment and evaluation. I don't know why, but yeah, I know the Queen of Wands likes to do things her way. She gets what she wants. She can be a bully sometimes because she does not recognize boundaries or laws. And this is the energy, not the person, the energy that is involved in this entire situation. I was just watching Christy Nome, Director, Secretary of Homeland Security, and I'm like, I hear what you're saying, but I don't think it applies. Three of Wands here, looking for outside help. Hmm. Here's the news announcements. Eight of Wands. Now here is relying on the youth. Mental challenging. We have a lot of expansion here with mental challenging. It's a lot of minds being opened right about now. People are seeing things differently, and people are seeing a lot of women out on the front lines too of these protests. Aren't we always out there on the front lines? Now, the emotional challenge is that choices must be made. These choices deal with the merchants. This is a merchant on this card. And so Home Depot is going to have to make some choices here. So are the other people in that little mall, businesses. And here's the outcome. This is tacos. This is the taco representing the oligarchy. So looking at this, bottom line, a lot of anxiety has been created. First thing I want to say is that Tacos does not really understand what he's dealing with because there is a paper trail. All of these protests got started. Well, what started as a small protest ended up drawing an entire community into it. And that happened, I do believe, when it was figured out that people who were being arrested were had registered for their citizenship the proper way, but were still kind of in limbo as to full citizenship. That's what really ticked a lot of people off. And it's coming out. And that's why the White House is feeling such anxiety right about now, because they've like been caught red-handed. Uh, to bring things to a halt. Yeah, you might have brought things to a halt, pulling in the National Guard, federalizing the National Guard, but you have betrayed an entire community of people, kind of so, by reneging on what was promised, promising citizenship, and then pulling the rug out from under these people. That's why you have the National Guard galloping in. And that's why they tried to turn that bus over the other day. So, hmm, what the outcome is the trickery and exposure of the current administration. Because these people literally see it's one thing to misinterpret and misunderstand, but when you've gotten to the point where you know you have been tricked, and that's what this to me looks like. Five of Cups, here's regret. And here comes a report. I don't know what report this. Well, it's probably going to be an investigation of what went down, how ICE has been doing things, where they're getting their marching orders, because it has always bothered me as to where they're getting these people's names, addresses, and places of employment. Where is this information coming from? That's a warehouse of information. That's data. That's people's personal data. Only to have them arrested and thrown in jail. Now they want to talk about, well, these are criminals. Well, criminals don't have their names and numbers anywhere unless they have been arrested here and they've got their names and addresses on record. If they've been paroled, they'll have their place of employment on record. But unless, that's a bunch of unlesses. I don't know. Something's not adding up. Yeah, look. Yeah, and here we are as people go to their court to see about their citizenship, and then they're stripped away. The rest of it's just, it seems to be what they have applied for has been separated, they've been separated from their citizenship with no recourse. Just like that, like you just lost. Now the information is coming out. We don't know what this truth is yet. This is sort of truth, but it's going to come out that I'm just thinking that the burden is these people's financial security and happiness have been under fire for a very much longer amount of time than we knew anything about. When I say we, I'm talking about us, I guess, other citizens of the U.S. And now it's like they feel that the new immigrants who are new, are they newly naturalized or about to be naturalized citizens? Now they feel they've been abandoned. They thought they had successfully become citizens, and now they have been abandoned. And this decision was made by the cult leader. This is like the mega cult. And this is where they like pull the rug out from underneath of these people. So it's almost like these people were brought up here for one reason, and whatever that reason was, they've served their purpose. And now it's time for them to get gone. And look at here, look at here, look at here. Guess what that reason was? I take it back right here. The presidency itself. The presidency itself. That's what it was there for. Oh my goodness. Um, Let me try a three-card spread and ask, well, what the outcome is. The outcome is going to be the revelation that people have been pulled into this country for votes. And now that the major votes are in, they're being expelled from the country because of who they vote. Because it's ridiculous. Political. It's political. It's all political. Bottom of the deck is the Queen of Swords. I mean, the Queen of Cups, the one with the secrets. And here's the partnership, three-way partnership, Three of Pentacles, and the ending of the partnership. So this was all a ploy. This was all a ploy to get people in to vote for the current administration. They were seduced very quietly, let's pull these out. Yeah. Seduced, lulled into a false sense of security. And when the goal was achieved, there's no more need for them. So now the administration that they voted in is moving full speed ahead at moving them out. Hmm. Okay. That's what that looks like, folks. That looks like, well, I don't know which way that can go. Does this mean, will these ICE arrests be suspended? Does it mean now that the jig is up, the gig is up, and everything is exposed? Uh, what does it mean? Now that the entire public can see what's going on, or it'll be found out that who they're calling, the administration is calling illegal, were quite legal, quite legal. What does that mean? Yeah, for the immigrants, it's time to go back home. But what if here is home? What if here is home? What does it mean for the constituents of Paramount City? What does it mean? And other places across the nation that they were basically brought into this country for their votes. Now that the votes have been gotten, and though they're no longer needed, they're being thrown out. One more. I'll do a three card, maybe 3 to 5 card spread. Is this karma? Ah, yes, it is. Okay. Okay, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Here are the cohorts again. This is the cohort. Here's the conflict. Here's the conflict. Fighting for your life, fighting for your space, fighting to stay in position. The sun shines on what? The betrayal. Last card. They're going to have to, it looks like they're going to have to find some other way of being, some other way. They know they've been tricked. Somewhere else to go? This is just a disappointment. Last card. They're going to patiently ride this whole ice mess through. This is what's happening with the community of Paramount. Bottom of the deck, they will comply with the law, whatever the law says. But they know they've been played. They know. All right, folks. Until I can see you again, like I said, I'm not at home. We'll be on for a few more days. Hopefully, we'll get a whole new place. Not a whole new place. Uh, More comfortable home when we get back. Until that time, much love.